Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Humpdazed. This is number 121. And as always, my wife, Crispy Wannabe, is here too.
Cheers, everybody. Happy hump days.
We're going to get the invite link up there if anybody wants to join. We're getting something rolled up here so we can get
smoked up, toked up.
Take a walk through the clouds real quick.
It's been a minute today. I feel like it's been a few hours since we smoked, so we're gonna.
Quite an eventful day. I see my humidity's a bit on the low side.
But we got the tent open, so it's hard to keep those parameters in check with the camera. It's not ideal, but
right. There's the link. I pinned it. I see seed person, small twos, rolling smoke, first in the room.
Cheers.
Sevens, ice and I, sky overhead. See our little plants are flowering.
Yeah, they're soldiering on.
Yeah, they are. Cheers, ice and I. How's it going, man?
Good. Them plants are looking quite lively today, there, Scott.
Cool.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get all this shit clicked here.
There we go. What you smoking on?
Amnesia Haze.
Nice. We're going to do a little salad, a little bit of Ghost Train Haze and a little bit of purple tie in there.
We got a mixture here.
A little bit of, I'm forgetting it, cookies and cream. Gorilla cookies. I'm sorry, not cookies and cream, gorilla cookies. We smoked all the cookies and cream.
Yeah.
It's been gone for a minute.
Yeah, I'm ready to get smoked up. It's been quite a day.
Is your weather getting to you over there?
They got a big storm down south. I had some family just made it into the state last night, and to try and get away from it, to get away from all that. So that's a crazy storm they're starting down there. Oh, here comes our guest now, the Rocinante update.
Now, I'm super stoked.
I know he doesn't have a whole lot of time, man, so we want to give him his open door and let him roll. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's all right. Am I sideways here? I turned my camera.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Take your time. Your time.
Rotation
lock was on. Yep.
Yeah.
He left. He fell out.
He'll figure.
I'm
hoping he comes back. Yeah, I'll
Thank you.
figure this out when he comes in, and hopefully he comes back, because that's cool. We're gonna get an update to see. It looks like everything has, survived, because he said that when he was on here that there could have been.
There's okay, Jace.
Cheers, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? What I miss?
Not much. Rocinante jumped on, and then he, I think when he tried to fix his stuff, it fell off. So we're hoping he'll maybe be able to stop back
and show us the growth. Yes.
I know it's only been a week.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Am I all fucked up and sideways here still?
No, you're good. You're perfect.
All right. Well, sorry,
man.
I think they did, honestly, and I think you can tell by the moisture as well. You can see why the hydricity become an issue. It's real foggy in there. Not that one, but some of these with more plant matter, you can tell they've definitely grown. I sent you a picture of that one small one, and right after I did, I kind of threw it on its head, so it rolled around, and now it's all messed up. But
man,
it's sideways, so
we'll see how it does. It ain't dead yet.
Not dead yet. I'll probably take it to the flow hood and put it in the right way again.
I got you.
But this one has definitely grown. That little tiny flake has turned into a slightly bigger flake.
That's really cool.
So I have some absolute monstrosities in here. They got too hot, and so a lot of these have been burnt to a crisp.
Oh no!
Not your guys's, but in the past during the summer, we had some issues. But these they all came out pretty sterile. I didn't see anything. Won't zoom. At the bottom of these, they kind of have fattened up. It's kind of hard to see with how they show up there. But the bottoms are kind of starting to form that callus. Yeah,
Oh
you could see
yeah,
this
you
a bit
said.
more.
I do see it.
Yes.
It's like kind of fattening up, and it's interesting. Some of these that I took with purple stems, this is a different strain that I did about the same day. Now you can't see that. That's strange. But they're almost red, but they're not. Nothing's been contaminated from that group, but there's not much going on besides the callus formation, and some that had leaves have seemed to grow a little bit faster, as you imagine, because
Yeah.
they're using the energy from the gel and the transpirational streaming to kind of like create the gradient to pull it in faster, yada yada. But even the little sticks that we pulled, they're growing tiny leaves now. But yeah, it's been only a week, but again, this is slow. This isn't very exciting.
No, it's I can see the growth on them taller ones, and like you said, with that moisture in there, that's indicative of photosynthesis, transpiration. So they're alive,
Mhm.
right?
Yep, they're definitely alive. I would say even this tiniest one, he's doing his best, but it's just going to be slow, especially since I kicked him on his side. But here's some. It's the same strain. It just has the lineage, but I messed these up pretty good. I put him in too much of an even mixture, and it just created all callus. You see that like
Oh, that's
sludge of growth. The auxins in this are way higher, but I think I messed up and I put some of the BA, the cytokinin in as well. And if you have too close of a ratio, you just get callus and nothing else.
that is wild.
That is wild.
This shows how indicative, or this is indicative of how much the agar and its formulation dictates everything. That's such an extreme example. It's so cool, man. What a good time to have
That
a
is pretty
mistake.
cool. I remember one time we were just messing around, and Smart got a whole bunch of the calyx off of a plant that we had grown because they were really tricky, and he plucked them all off, and we actually smoked a bowl of just the calyx.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's like
Yeah, we were listening to the Cheap Home Grow show when we were doing it.
I've known people who like do that because you leave them on the stems after you trim, right? If you look
Yes.
back at your stems, and so they go back with tweezers and just pluck them all off, and they make a big deal about it's the most precise, accurate flavor profile of the plant.
It wasn't worth the headache.
No.
Yeah, it was fun to do, but I don't really remember being that like impressed or whatever. But I wanted to say hi to Seed Person. He's joined us.
Hi guys. Continue
Cheers.
with the awesome stuff you've got going on.
Oh, Seed Person, I got these are kind of destined for you whenever I get them.
Oh shit. That's
Like,
awesome.
I made a few of those. But yeah,
oh man, I'm so excited. Thank you
That
for
is
thinking
exciting.
of me. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to get it to the point where it's rooted. Kind of these got kind of a little bit hot in there, but once I get it to the spot where it's rooted, I can ship it to you, and then you just wash off the gel, put it in a plug, and it's going. Put it in a humidity dome for about a few weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, I've done it a few times now. I thought it would be more delicate than they are, but honestly, I haven't killed anything yet doing that. So
Cool,
I would just use
cool.
one of those rapid rooter plugs, or I've used perlite and vermiculite. But basically, once you rinse off the gel, it doesn't need to be sterile anymore because you don't have all those sugars and vitamins just ready for the bacteria to grow on it. So, it's just a regular little seedling. But the only thing is that when they're developed in tissue culture, they don't really have a defined cuticle. And so you'll see some of these leaves just kind of fall off almost. They're like but the next set of leaves should be fine. So it does look a little dramatic. It's just because of the way that the plant develops in vitro. And then once you're acclimated, it's just in a completely different environment. So
This is so cool, man. You don't know how many people don't realize that this even exists as a thing, and you're like pretty well versed in it. I was trying to tell my dad about some of this shit. He looked like I was he looked at me like I was an alien. But meanwhile, he's been farming, or he's been running a nice, huge garden pretty much his whole life, at least for the last 30 years, you know. And he's into it, man. But when it comes to this stuff, he's like, oh, that's way beyond. And I find it so interesting.
It's very interesting.
I never thought that there would be something like this. It's just like, who thought of this shit? I guess it makes sense, but it's kind of wild to think that that would live and do what you want, and you could manipulate this. Like, that's so cool. This is what science is. Why I love science, man.
Literally, this is the door to overgrowing the planet.
Yeah.
Well, you can imagine how many plants, if you could just use that small of a piece, you could have hundreds in just an area like that. For other plants, you can like do somatic embryogenesis, which is kind of what we'll talk about with the synthetic seeds. But you can almost take that callus tissue, all those like lumps. You see how they're green?
Yeah.
They're trying to build chloroplasts and create new shoots from there. But to be honest, I don't know how to do that, and I won't pretend that I do. So, but somebody does. And with other plants, it's easier. I haven't really seen a good recipe for cannabis, but I know people have either tried or been successful. So you can think about how many plants you can grow from that. Grind that up, throw it onto the agar, right conditions. But that's just me speaking as kind of an amateur. But the synthetic seed topic, I was thinking maybe with these, if I grow them out and subculture them, that I can maybe take a few of the little internode spaces and create synthetic seeds out of them, and maybe send them off to you guys, and you can give them to a viewer to try.
Dude, that would be so freaking
that
cool.
is so exciting. When Smot told me, I could not wait for the people in the audience to hear that there's a chance that is in the future. I think it's fascinating.
Some synthetic lime
That's really
seeds,
cool.
man.
And I could probably make them even out of these, since we know this is sterile plant tissue. I could come in there and just take one of those apical shoots or bud sites, and I could drop. So I'll walk through the process. It's pretty simple, honestly. There are two methods, one of which where you dry the seed. It's the desiccated synthetic seed, and that uses one chemical. I think it's polyox is what it's called, polyoxyethylene. And what that does is it kind of is resistant to microbial growth. And what you do is you'll drop the somatic embryo or shoot tip. This doesn't work with cannabis, so I'm talking about two types of synthetic seeds. This first type isn't really the go-to for cannabis synthetic seeds, but I just thought I'd mention it. So there's the desiccated route, and you kind of just suspend a piece of plant that can grow a new plant in this solution, and then you dry it out on a Teflon sheet, and it kind of pops off, and you can take those and plant them somewhere, and they'll grow a whole new plant.
Wow, that is wild.
But for cannabis and other things that are kind of resistant to being dried out like that and reanimated, what you would do is do a hydrated synthetic seed. And that involves a solution called calcium alginate and sodium alginate. And what that does is it's just going to encapsulate it in a shell that keeps the synthetic seed safe. And so what you'll do is you chop up a little bud from here, and you would, since it's already sterile, you would immerse it in the calcium alginate, and then you would take that with a little micropipette. Stop me if this doesn't make any sense, by the way.
No, you're good.
So you have the little bud suspended in the calcium alginate. You take a micropipette or a pipette that you can kind of suck up the seed with, the little plant piece.
Yep.
And so you have that in the little micropipette, and then you take that over to a solution of sodium alginate, and you kind of drop it from a little bit up. So you have like a little droplet that encapsulates the plant. It falls into the sodium alginate, and it kind of like coats it, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then I think you kind of like scoop it out of there, almost like you're getting a fried donut out of a fryer or something. You gotta scoop it out of there. And I may be a little bit off on the next part of the process, but up until that point, that's what you do. I've never done it. I've read about it. But I'm pretty confident. And you're going to hear my cats. I just rescued some cats a while ago. They hate when I go in this room. So if you hear them, they're totally fine. They're just
congratulations. That's
Thanks.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fine. They just,
No, I think that's very interesting to make synthetic.
Yeah.
I just heard about synthetic seeds about, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And we were reading about it, and I haven't heard of anybody growing any, and I haven't heard of anybody giving any away. So I feel like if that's something we eventually, we won't hold you to it, man, because it could be a tough process, and you've got a lot going on. You know?
Yeah, the fact that you're willing to share this information with us and walk us through these processes is really awesome and amazing. We appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, and it's honestly the barriers to it are just these little pieces of plant, putting it in that calcium alginate, dropping it into the sodium alginate, and then once you have those little seeds, you put them in a little capsule with storage solution. You can put them there, kind of hang out until you use them. Then you just pour them onto the surface of your growing media. The only hitch here is it's like 20% success rate. It's like extreme. So I'm gonna have to at least
like the germination rates.
Yeah, the germination rate. It's
like
a super micro clone. It's like that.
Yeah.
And you're just throwing it in. It technically can grow a shoot and root, but it's very susceptible, right? It's this tiny little piece of tissue. And so really the success rate is
I do, kiddies.
Yeah.
They agree with you. Hey, I have a question for you, Rock. Is this something you can do? Maybe we answered this, and I haven't thought the question through, so it might be silly, but can you do this to flowering plants? So if I cut a piece of a flowering plant off and stick it in there, am I still going to get results, or is it going to have to switch back while
I think that'd be too tough. Yeah. I bet you could do it if you're extremely gentle with the conditions, but
it'd be all full of the wrong. Would it be full of like the wrong hormones, or could you like supplement with a different kind of hormone to get it to go back into veg real quick?
No, I just think that piece of tissue would have too much to go through to create a new plant. That if the success rate is already so low with vegetative tissue, like putting something that, like, even if you tried to clone that, right, it would be kind of funky for a while. I think that I'm just guessing, technically you can regenerate a plant from that tissue. All right, guys, I think someone's calling the show for me here. I don't mean
I
to.
understand.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
That's all right. Hey, I know you got a lot going on, like with work and your personal life and everything, and so we appreciate you coming by. If you ever get a chance, you want to come back again and keep us updated, just let me know. I'll put it in the title, and feel free anytime just to stop by. I couldn't get a hold of you this week, and I felt like I didn't want to look at that. What is that?
That's a begonia, actually. It's this weird begonia I'm tissue culturing called a spike begonia, but very strange. It's aggressive.
It looks like some Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, smack someone in the face with that thing and leave a mark.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take off. I'm sorry about the screaming cats there.
Not a problem,
really
man.
cool, but they just don't like boundaries. Yeah, I'll pop on another time, or I'll be in the chat. I'm sorry if I just blazed through that. But maybe the next time I come on, what I'll do is I'll take one of these jars out. We'll cut up a piece of the buds, and we'll try to make the seeds. Maybe I'll try to make it with some of these other ones just as practice, and before we do these. And I found the solution, so I just need to mix it up by the recipe, get the micropipette, and that's all we need. So maybe next week we'll try that.
I can see this. The title of the show now would be Creating Synthetic Seeds with Rocinante live. Yeah. So you got me all excited because this is going to be cool, man. And our friends like to see this. There's always a lot of questions after these types of shows. But yeah, man, handle your business. We appreciate you coming by, and grow our love.
Yeah, grow love, guys.
Good to see you,
Rocinante.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Future shows. That's really exciting. The synthetic seed talk. When I found that out, I was stoked.
Yeah, I want to grow one.
Stoked. I do too. Now I really want to.
20% germination rate, though, man. That's what he said. It's really low. I haven't heard
That's
of anybody from. What's that?
I just wanted to say that's so cool that he heard about the maple syrup hunt and had access to that black maple 22. That's the one that, you know, if you go try to get some, it's like a fucking $350 pack of seeds or something. And then thought of me and was like, I'm going to send this to him. That's fucking awesome. Like, I love this community.
I know that is fucking awesome. I can't wait to see it growing in your garden and getting the results that you want out of it. That's going to be sweet.
Yeah, we'll put it all up and show from him, you know, doing the tissue culture, and if it all works out, you know, I don't want to put pressure on him or anything, but you know, if it does come through, we'll definitely do a live like transplant and stuff, and you know, maybe we can get him walk me through it or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good content.
Exciting stuff.
And you know it's clean, man. That's the one thing I learned about that, because it's been bleached and it's been, you know, all that shit, and you know it's coming nice and fresh.
Yeah, I think this would be probably one of the only ways I would take a clone from somebody. You know?
I had to walk back on my never taking clones as well. I'm thinking this would be the one way that I would not entertain it. It would still have to come with someone very, you know, someone we trust. But with the agar being clean, you would know that it's clean. Look at this. Jace is following up some
hella grenades, Jace. Man, you should be proud. I'm proud to be just seeing it on my screen. Wow.
Some big boys in there. This is the last bucket I had to package up. I got everything else packaged up. I ran out of mason jars. I had to reload my inventory.
That is a full drawer for sure.
Your stock.
Man, if y'all live closer, y'all could just swing by and get some.
I know, man. I would definitely do that too.
Yeah, and like with us, you get 2 people to help you trim if we live close. You know, not just one person coming over. 2 people.
Oh yeah, that'd be my fee right there. Just grab you some scissors, start trimming. Bigs go over here, smalls go over there.
I'd come over weighing 180 pounds and leave weighing 180 and a half, isn't it? My pocket's like, what's in your pocket?
Why you smell so good?
Yeah. Hey, Jay, it's wonderful to see the big harvest, the big grow, so successful, coming to an end, put away, ready to smoke, and getting ready to start these other ones back in those tents, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, just back to back. This is the fastest I've grown since I've been growing. I usually take a few months off in between and kind of get a breather, but I don't know, just kind of wanted to keep going. I had to hit the steam going.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Success is addictive, and you killed it. Yeah.
Asana, are you eating that dot on your screen? Look, it's like, oh my goodness, he ate it. Give it back. It's like,
oh my goodness, that's gold.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Oh, that's great.
That's what he's doing. For
sure. Well, just so everybody knows, we had the tissue culture update with Rocinante. He has a lot going on, and he couldn't stay long. But everything that he took, the agar is nice and clean. It's not polluted. It's nice and clear. Some of them actually grew over the last week, and they have a little bit of condensation inside there. That's indicative of transpiration, photosynthesis. The other ones still coming along. Even that little tiny piece he took, he says it's probably doubled in size. So now it's a little bit bigger of a tiny little flake. So it was pretty fun to see. And I wanted to remind everybody that he wants to come back next week. And as long as he can find a micro pipette, he has all the solutions. He's going to try to make some synthetic seeds for us here live on the show. And if they take, we'll do a giveaway with synthetic seeds made here on the show and see if somebody can grow them. The only caveat he said was there's a 20% germination rate, because it's literally a microclone pretty much suspended in some solution that can be rehydrated. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around all that, to be honest with you. It seems a little wicked wild, doesn't it?
It does seem wicked wild. And I think that, with the good vibes in this community, 20% challenge accepted, right?
Yeah.
I think that someone in this community could definitely handle that challenge.
There's our buddy Jock MJ. I wanted to say cheers to him. I know he's been busy and hasn't been in the chat as much as he'd like to. So it's nice to see you. And yeah, that's a harvest with the Doc MJ Cocoa for Cannabis Grow right there that Jace is putting together. And he did very well. Look at these buds. Here, hold on a second, Jace. Let me put you on the big time, the big screen. Yeah, show me that one. Look at that. Is that the Blue Dream?
Oh, my.
This is Jack Herrera. I've got the Blue Dream already bottled up already. I can pull some of that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this came out good. This is actually my biggest yielder. I had, oh God, what did I have? I think I had 14 ounces off of this one, 13 ounces. Just this one Jack Herrera plant.
Wow, that tent exploded for you, man. That's a perfect example of cocoa grow, well-managed cocoa grow, properly lit, good environment, everything in. It just took off on you. I see Sky overhead and joined us and wanted to say hello and let him know he's hooked up.
How's it going, everybody?
Good to see
Good.
you.
I'd like
Looks
to
like you
also
sold
real
some
quick.
Christmas trees.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
going to
sorry.
be chopping them down for you guys if you want me to.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. We almost kicked you out rather than put you on the solo layout. Go ahead, see person. I apologize. I cut you right off, man.
Oh no, I was just making a joke about how it looks like he has a Christmas tree farm, and he sold a couple of them.
Thanks.
Looks like a dude in a ghillie suit,
Yeah, that too.
chopping down at the knees and that. It's go time for these. Hey, did you find a whole bunch of rod on those? I know you found a little bit.
Just a little bit.
That's
So
all.
there was some like right in this area right here.
I'm sure you'll be able to check them bigger once you. Hey, can you turn your phone sideways for us? The chat was nice enough to remind me.
Thank you.
There you go. They're so big you can't see the whole thing the other way.
That's what she said.
Oh wow, nice. What strain is this, man?
This is the Masonic Seed Company, heavy duty fruity chocolate cross Wilson, and it's an F2.
Oh man, you gotta have
Does it
these
smell like
right
chocolate? Is there any chocolate in there?
To me, it kind of just smells like silicone or paint or something.
Interesting.
That
It
is
started out kind of smelling like a white widow at first, and then it changed a little bit to. I had a plant back in 2009, I believe. It was called Belladonna. It kind of smells like that one.
Hey, all them plants are ready or no? Just a couple of them, I presume.
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are ready.
You got some trimming help, man, or how do you do it? You hang them whole, hang them and hang them up.
I'm gonna try to hang these whole, but I don't even know if I made enough room in through the entrance of where I tarp shit off.
That's always the problem, isn't it? Finding room when they're done, because they get a lot bigger probably than you think. I mean, I don't know. We don't get to grow outside, but if I get anything looking like this, I'm going to feel very successful. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's like on a whole new level. That kind of trimming would be. I mean, trimming can be daunting. Smart makes it fun, but that's a lot to be trimming.
All that with free light. You have your pest pressures, you have your thievery or things like that to worry about. But damn, man, we did learn that people are obviously planting 10, 20% more than what they expect. due to rot. But it looks like you skated pretty good in your climate.
Yeah, this is the first year that I've just let the plants go by the sun. So I planted on April 20th. And then I up potted from the 1 gallon pot to a 5 gallon pot. And then as soon as they were grown out in that 5 gallon, I just stuck them in the native soil.
Right on.
And I'll show you how hard the soil is here.
It's a lot of clay in it, huh? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's clay. It's real nice if you like cover it up and stuff.
Lack of porosity, probably, and it's just packing it down. And you probably kind of have to mend your areas, huh?
So basically, this is what I planted in.
Yeah. You did mighty fine for what I'm seeing.
Indeed.
I'm jumping on this thing and it ain't going on the ground.
Here comes your chicken to help you out. It's looking for worms, man.
Yeah, it wants to be first in line with the chow.
Yeah, man.
So you can see that super dry stuff.
Yeah. You know,
Like I only got down like 2 inches and I jumped with all my weight on that shovel. So I planted into the ground in June, I think. Yeah, June. And then I haven't fertilized anything in the soil. It's just all natural nutrient cycling. So this is what the soil looks like around the plant. So basically, I've just been going up under these oak trees and grabbing the leaves and using that as mulch under the plants. So look at how nice and easy this stuff is. That's like chocolate cake.
yeah. Here comes the chicken.
Oh, she's got all those worms.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice harvest, man. You did nice with that soil. A lot of work, you know.
And you know, adjusted to that move and, you know, growing in a different spot now. You did very well with the transition.
Indeed.
Yeah, for some reason, like during the hottest parts, the last 2 months, it's just at nighttime it was hitting dew points. So it's real tricky if you're not covering your plants at night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
we was talking to J5 about some of that. He lost some plastic and he was saying that you know, just have them covered up like that is a big difference.
Yeah, it keeps the dew off, it keeps the frost off. All right, guys, which one do you want me to cut down first? So you got your pick. I'm gonna do all these. These
Dealer's
two right
choice.
here. This one and the one behind it over there. Well, there's two over there, but
The ones that are
I'll probably-
senescing.
yeah.
They're ready to rock and roll, man.
All right, I guess I'll start on this one.
Yeah.
I'll,
Go for it.
I'll try to do it. Let's see, where did I put my clippers?
The Cindy Loppers.
Yeah, the Cindy Loppers.
There they are. Yeah. Oh, that's a big one.
Sure is. That stalk's mighty thick too.
Yep. You might put the Kung Fu grip on this one, huh?
I got halfway through it.
Yeah, they need it. They need sharpened up, huh? You might have to just
Oh yeah, it smells good.
180-degree turn. Hell yeah.
Oh my god,
You can
I might
smell it.
break
You
them.
said this one's good. You might have to buckle them right over until they snap, man. Look at me back.
Yeah, you might need a chainsaw.
You might need
Fire it up.
You need a handsaw.
That's a hell of a plant you grew there.
You need something with teeth and motion.
I'm trying flipping this around. Hold on.
Yeah, just put the phone down and do it.
Hold on, I lost you guys here. Okay, there you guys are.
We got you. It's a harvest moon.
Oh yeah.
See.
There you go. We can see right there. We'll get this here, go right down. Now you can work it a little bit. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Come on, Sky. You got this, man.
Work those forearms.
I might
Work
have to
those
get the
forearms.
chainsaw out.
You can do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah, slip a pipe over the end of that.
I'm using my leg too.
Maybe
Grab the
take a
chicken.
little while,
It's the top. Yeah.
Ah.
That your leg, or are you riding that chicken? Oh, I think he cut out. He didn't like my chicken joke. He
Oh
laughed.
no.
No, I'm just kidding. I think
That's
he
not what
froze up.
happened.
He froze up. He'll come back and it'll be chopped. He said maybe he wants to get a chainsaw. You would think loppers would chop it right down, you know. Oh, Cannabinoid said there's a frost freeze warning. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come through. My peppers are still growing by the day. I'm hoping I can get this last round off of them.
Yeah, that's what I use on mine. Loppers every time. Quick work.
Yeah.
I used to have a kitchen butcher knife, like a steak knife. It did a good job getting through them. I get them so far over and then just kind of
saw after him, but
yeah.
you know they were smaller.
Hey, he's back.
He's back. We
Yeah.
lost you
Am
for
I
a minute
back?
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I could hear you guys still talking, but my screen was like frozen or something. I'm taking a break. I still didn't get all the way through it.
That's all right.
That's fine.
Take a breather.
Take a minute, enjoy the chop, and I just want to say hi to XYZ Vector. Cheers, buddy. Z Vector. Cheers, buddy.
Someone got the YouTube on in the background.
Wasn't me.
I don't even want to know. XYZ's Iron Man assistant went haywire.
XYZ. What'd you do to Jarvis, XYZ?
Sorry. I had my mic on and yeah, I'm not in my normal spot.
We lost Sky overhead again. You are you back home, XY? No.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you setting up
Yeah,
the
that's the
grow.
bad part of my yard.
That's not my tent though. This is Doctor's tent.
Oh, cool.
Ooh. Nice.
We'll get
Yeah.
Ditch the 2x4, huh? What's the deal here?
Nah, this ain't a 2x4. This is a 4x4.
I know he ditched the 2x4. I'm saying what happened?
Oh well, I guess he felt he had too many plants, and we felt like we're gonna put it in a 4x4. I guess.
Need more space there.
Yep. Well, he's got 10 plants in here, so yeah, need a little bit more space.
I'd like to note the position and placement of the plants.
I was just going to mention that.
That's definitely due to light densities. Yeah, there comes Doc MJ now. Maybe he can. Cheers, Doc. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up,
We're getting to
Doc?
look at your
Cheers.
We got your grow on XY's phone. How's that?
That is pretty awesome. It's great
It's
to
like
see
right
you.
over there.
Oh, there we go.
The is a disaster zone, so ignore all of the intervening mess between us. But yeah, we got spent the last couple of days setting up the irrigation system all the way from freshwater holding tank to catchment. So freshwater holding tank, doser, res, water delivery system, all that. Ooh.
Hey, man,
Around.
I apologize. The cops are outside at my neighbor's house for some reason. And it's
No
freaking me.
shit.
Yeah, it's freaking me and my wife out. We're like in here.
I just like, hey, just a heads up, Smart.
I'm gonna have her zip the tent up, man, and
yeah, get rid of that smell. So
go ahead. I got.
Are you good with your neighbours? Are you good with your neighbours? That's the question, isn't it?
We lost XYZ.
What happened to XYZ? Oh my
Oh,
god!
I've closed the tent up, and yeah,
He's there somewhere.
XYZ heard the police. He started closing the tent up all of a sudden.
It makes you wonder what they're doing. I know they have nothing to do with us, but you always think about it when they're out there. And it kind of took me off my whole game here. I was all selected up to ask some questions here. Oh, the placement of the plants there. Is that for light densities, I presume?
Oh yeah, you want to show the tent? You didn't have to close their tent. They had to close their tent because they were under. I think Andrew heard that XYZ heard that you needed to close the tent. They zipped it up.
yeah, we zipped it up
cops,
just
man.
to-
I heard word cops.
I told you. I told you.
Sketches me out.
They're not here. They're not here. They're out there in the other side of the country. XYZ. So yeah, I'll talk you through this a little bit. So most of my plants are in 1 gallon air pots, and you'll see 8 1-gallon air pots sort of around the periphery of the space. I only had 8, and I ended up with 10 plants, or at least at the moment I have 10 plants. And so I have the 2 other plants in the seedling containers. I put them in the middle. They're like the smaller air pot. I'm not yet sure if I'm going to have 10 plants all the way through. I sort of think I am. So I'll probably get a couple more 1-gallon air pots and pot them up. And then, yeah, I only had, 5 of the saucers. It didn't make sense to give each plant sort of its own saucer. They'll spread out enough off of, 2 per saucer like that. So just spread them around.
Right on. Train them out the way you want. This is nice. This is the biggest tent I think you've ever had that I've known.
Yeah, I used to grow in this tent. This is like, you met me when I was growing in this tent, I think.
Okay.
But I used to have, I've never really gone wall to wall full board in it. I used to have a bench in the front, like 1.5 feet that I'd like work in and stuff and keep my lights on the plants in the back 3 feet or so. And the plants would kind of overgrow that, but I've never really spread out the tent like this and used the full footprint and had it fully lit. So it'll be fun. Yeah. Hopefully all those plants are females. That's sort of the open question that leaves me hedging my bets a little bit.
Yeah, you might have some extra room. Hopefully not. That's cool, man. They look good.
Yeah, I think they're just over 2 weeks old now. I'm gonna veg them. If we're going 10 plants in the 4x4 like this, I think I'm only gonna veg them another 10 days and then start flipping them to flower. Expect them to really I'll top them once and expect them to really grow out during the bolt.
I know you just had a big birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my birthday on Sunday. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. And Andrew has been down here helping me get this system, XYZ, here's been helping me get everything set up. So it's finally back automated again. And I'm stoked. I mean, I got automation where I can now remotely mix a batch because I have a freshwater holding tank that I've had the doser for a while, but the freshwater holding tank is sort of a game changer because I don't have to be here to initiate a batch. So when my res runs low, it will tell the doser to mix a batch, and that happens automatically.
That's
I've
nice.
upgraded to a 5-gallon catchment. Yeah, that just drains below. You see all those lines dripping down, and they all just drain into that bucket under the tent that can be slid in and out and exchanged.
Home Depot knows. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
like
What do you want to show them with the doser, the rest of the system, Andrew? Anything?
And I know that was fun having Andrew there. You guys, your two minds working together, figuring it all out. And
Yeah, it really is.
check
It really
that
is.
out.
That's my whole doser system with all the little step pumps, dosing all the nutrients. And then down below we have the res and the pumps that feed the plants. And then that bucket, that black bucket to the right, is the freshwater holding tank.
That's nice. And it's very compact.
Yes, very compact.
Yeah, we got that. There's sort of doors on either side of this. So there's a door right there. Show them where the door starts, Andrew. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
we got to keep inside that space. And then that door on the other side, too, is kind of like right there. So,
But it works.
a corner space between those two doors.
It works.
And everything
Man.
fits there. But we didn't have water there. So, a tap. So it was hard to figure out how to really do the doser in an automated way. But freshwater holding tank is the newest addition to this, and I'm really stoked on it.
Good deal. I can't wait to see how it goes through. Everybody, Doc has a Patreon channel that you can sign up for and follow this. You'll get to see the grow, and maybe you'll come back and update us once in a while when you get a chance. This is really cool. I like seeing the our buddy Jace just pulled down a hell of a harvest, man, with the cocoa for cannabis system. And
Nice.
A well-managed cocoa grow is so much fun to be a part of, and whether you're watching it on here or you're doing it in your own tent,
Yeah. And my grow, I mean, those plants haven't been getting watered frequently enough at all up to this stage of their lives. So I am excited. We just did the first auto fertigation with the halos, or those are net bows. And the two little, show them the little 3D printed rings that we got on the little pots. So we got pressure compensated peckers, those little things there, a couple inches off of the main feed line, are the pressure compensated peckers that are sort of limiting the flow. It doesn't matter if it's going out to a big ring like that, or a little ring like that. They're both getting the same amount of water because they're going through the same
Gotcha.
flow restriction.
That's cool. It's nice. That pressure compensated is the way to go, man. It keeps for anybody who's wondering why, it keeps the volume the same, for one, and it also keeps nasty water from sitting in the lines and being the first thing that hits your plant on the next fertigation system, right?
Well, it depends. I mean, you still have to set it up properly to make sure that happens. But yeah, almost any drip system can be set up so that the lines can be drained clear at the end of the event, or that the lines remain full of water. And you really, if you're setting up an automatic watering system, you really want to set it up in such a way that at the end of the events, the lines are empty. They're not sitting full of water. There's lots of different ways to potentially do that with different types of pumps and different systems. But you'd be surprised at how many expensive facilities and, seemingly good instructions about how to do drip systems leave you with a system where the water sits in the lines. And when we do high frequency fertigation, we do really small events, a lot of really small events. And so the water gets into the lines, and if it just sits there, it heats up. If it's in that black line like that, in between events, it's going to be heating up. And then we're doing such a small event that basically we're just giving the plants the water that was in that, hot tube.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's definitely an issue, but yeah, you gotta plan for that and make sure that your system addresses.
And doing that over and over can create a very nasty situation in the root zone, and it could be a problem. And it's not a good practice. I mean, a lot of people get by with it, but I agree. It's nice to see that, man. It's nice to go over some of them pitfalls of why people do what they do. And the only thing that makes me wonder, and this is going to be the question everybody has for you, Doc, don't you feel as though you're wasting water on the little plants by feeding or by fertigating them as much as you do the big pots? Because drain to waste.
The amount that you waste is ridiculously small. It's almost immeasurably small. And that's one of the cool things about the drip system like this is it really allows you to dial in precisely how much water the plants need. And you're not heavy-handed with your watering. I think being heavy-handed with hand watering ends up wasting a lot more than high-frequency fertigation. We're not using more water. We're just giving it to them in smaller doses more frequently. So we're giving them 20, 1 ounce shots of water instead of 1 20-ounce shot of water.
I want to hurry up and show this real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I got a lot of shit going on. Check out this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, go for it.
Harvesting.
I had to mute you, Sky overhead, because we were getting a lot of feedback, but wow, I told you it looks like a guy in a ghillie suit.
Yeah, it's crazy how big it is next to him. Oh my goodness.
Nice. That would be so fun.
He chopped one already, has one hung, I believe.
That's like a harvesting a buck.
No, that is a guy in a ghillie suit.
What's that?
I said that is a guy in a ghillie suit now.
It is a canvas ghillie suit. Yeah. Oh wow, that's so cool. Hey, Jace wants to know if you're doing house calls XYZ.
I don't know if it's a generalized practice here. I definitely feel lucky. I will say that XYZ is an absolute gentleman and a scholar and very generous and has totally set up my grow for success here. So I'm very grateful to XYZ, but yeah, I don't blame you for being jealous. Okay, Jace.
He's a good guy. I sure do appreciate him too. He's hooked all of us up, to be honest, I think.
He has. He's been very helpful with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Indeed.
This is the drying space.
Yes, he has the tarp up for the dry space.
The outdoor grow, man, I love it. I can't wait to try it. I'm looking forward to it. And this is one thing that I felt would be an issue, would be trying to find somewhere I could consistently dry a lot of cannabis at one time. I'm thinking the basement's going to be the only option. We have an old root cellar. I think I can really do something down there.
Yeah. Okay. For real.
Yeah, this is a struggle I feel like a lot of people that come on here, they struggle with this part of finding somewhere to put all that at once,
Fair. Yeah. I mean, I've seen more sort of capital intensive solutions. Basements are tough climates to dry in. Let me just put that out there. I mean, it's really not the best room in your house to dry your cannabis in, but I do understand that there's other considerations at play there that sort of dominate that.
The living room's nice. We'll just put it in the living room with the air conditioner running and just let her pump, man. And that's just how it's going to have to be. But that'll obviously be when walls are different. But
I know exactly. But the living room with air conditioner would be way better than the basement. It's just not for maybe legal reasons, but for horticultural reasons. For cannabis reasons. So yeah, it's always important to sort of understand what are your limitations, as it were.
It looks like we lost guy overhead. He's been having some troubles clicking in and out, but boy, that's nice to see that. You guys missed the tissue culture. That's pretty interesting stuff.
Oh, no, we're watching the tissue culture.
Oh, cool. At least we're kind of learning as we
we're
go.
watching the tissue culture, and I was talking to XYZ about the synthetic seeds, and we were riffing on that. And XYZ was like, "Let's go on, let's go jump on and show them what we've been up to." So, yeah.
Until you learn about it.
A good demo by Rocinante. Good explanation.
Man.
I like Rocinante. I like how he explains things too. So.
Oh yeah,
I do too.
Very good at that, man. He makes it. He's a very personable person. And he told us not long ago he gets nervous, and I'm thinking, man, if you only knew how you were viewed in the community, you wouldn't be nervous. You know,
can't tell at all.
People really. I get messages after shows, some of those shows with him, and people have a lot of questions. They're like, I can't wait to the next one, and they send some engaging conversations with it and everything. And so. But we're learning as we go. I wasn't always into tissue culture, synthetic seeds. It sounded like big pharma taking over, and I had this distorted view. And then our buddy comes on and kind of explains it to him, and it's not maybe the monster that I had once painted it, you know?
Right.
We found some pitfalls. We go over it as we go, but it's one of the pitfalls is like sending your genetics off. Supposedly people, I guess they could keep your genetics, you know, and kind of make them their own, and you really don't have any. And so there is like a dark side to it, like anything, but a lot of positives when you're getting the non-vascular tissue and cleaning it up, getting rid of hot-laden viroids and bringing something back that would have been maybe potentially just cut and lost. And it's pretty cool shit. Synthetic seeds.
Yeah, it's a cool technology. It definitely has a place. I don't know that it's going to be the go-to for most home growers, but I think it's great to understand what's going on, what's out there. I definitely have come across some commercial applications for it, and that's one of the things XYZ and I were talking about. In commercial production, it's important for producers to maintain their genetic lines because they have got licenses to grow them. And they often have licenses to only grow certain strains. So tissue culture is one way to sort of preserve lines. If you don't want to keep a mom for a while of that plant, you want to sort of switch and grow some other plants for a while, and you want to be able to go back to it. That's one of the ways that I've seen commercial producers using tissue culture. And one of the ways that sort of really makes sense to do things like that. Seeds, I was kind of chuckling about the 20% termination rate. I still have, I don't know. I mean, it has its place, right? But I don't know at this point how widespread, based on like that. Regular seeds are sort of nature's little miracle when you really get into how complicated it is to do synthetic seeds.
I agree. It's probably not for homeowners. I would have all my gel would be totally contaminated, but you know, in typical fashion, I look in my Amazon box and Crispy has 2 laminar flow hoods, and she's deciding which one she wants first because you know how she is. No, I'm just kidding. But we thought it was pretty cool, and but not for homeowners, not for us. I don't think that's something that we need. But boy, it's good to know what's out there, what's happening, you know what's available.
Absolutely.
Looks like Sky's back. He might have YouTube playing in the background, so I'll have to mute you, Sky, until you turn off one.
We can see your plant though. It looks fine.
Oh man, that's
beautiful.
Thing's huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a damn tree.
He's been doing this for a long time. He just recently moved. He used to have this little hoop house beside his house that he grew some monsters in. Moved here and was kind of worried about acclimating, and looks like he just landed with both feet.
It's funny. I see plants that big, and they make me a little bit nervous.
Of course, I've been asking everyone about.
I mean, I think a lot of growers are just like, oh wow, look how cool. I'm like kind of trembling. I'm like, oh my god, what do we got going on inside there? There's pests, there's rot, there's anything. It's a beautiful plant though. That's really well done.
Yeah.
Well, imagine trimming all that.
That's the other thing I was thinking about. It gives me fear of trim jail.
Trim bag.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can process it. Well, our buddy,
Friends, lots of friends.
Even
that are willing to
then,
help.
man, even just prepping him for trim bag, this is how spoiled I've become. Like, that's just even a lot of work.
yeah. Well, you ought to see our buddy
A lot of
J5.
cannabis, that is. So, hey.
J5's got acreage, man, and
Oh my, his
massive.
garden.
It's unbelievable. But anyhow, I was my question, like, how do you process all this? And they put it in totes with the leaves on, pull it out in a couple months, pluck the leaves, and supposedly he says it's great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's different. Okay.
Storage method, dry them out, put them in totes, and because you almost can't process that without like a massive crew, and so it's cool to see that there are ways to still preserve it. I think part of it's leaving the leaves on while you do that, kind of protects it. And man, but that would be my phobia, or my big thing that would keep me up at night would be when they get this. Look at those; they scream of caterpillars or bud rot. I mean, from what we've
man.
seen,
I mean, it's like growing that big, beautiful tomato, and you're so excited about it, and then you get it, and it's like already got like worm in it or something. And yeah, it's that situation. It makes me just nervous. Like, I'm gonna go up there, but I mean, I don't have any reason to be based on what he's pulling down. They're it's cool to see an outdoor grow like that. I agree.
Yeah, this is Croptober is the time of. It was nice. It's always nice because our friends come on and share with us when they're harvesting, and we get to see them all the way through. And it just makes you want to grow outside even that much more. And some soil that we've been composting for years and growing tomatoes and peppers and all our shit in. And I want to see how it does, He does have the chainsaw.
Oh, he's got the chainsaw.
That's wild.
I was going to give him crap. You need a sawzall at least, but now he's got the real gun.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, get hold of her.
Oh, yeah.
I went a little bit quicker.
Yes.
That was XYZ. XYZ, you tried to harvest one time with a sawzall, didn't you?
Yeah. I was show, but I didn't have a stem like that. That's a trunk.
That's a beer can for sure.
It's impressive for sure.
Lots of fun there.
Lots of good medicine.
For sure.
J5's also growing some of those triploids. Is that what they were? The ones that can't be pollinated. Am I right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be sterile.
Yeah, we talked about those on this show and with Doc and some of our friends here before, and I guess the jury's still out on all that.
Well, didn't one of his plants that were supposedly triploids, weren't they growing like seeds or something?
No, that was a pack of feminized seeds that were supposed to be like 99.9% female or whatever, and he got one that was male. So he took a clone of it.
I think he said he had seeds in there. He just don't know whether they're going to germinate.
Oh, he did have seeds in them.
I think that's what he said.
I think one of them. I think you're right, Isana. I think one of them did look like it.
Well, he might be
like white seeds, maybe.
Yeah, like a proto seed.
Just like the watermelons do.
Yeah, that's often what happens. The F1 generation will produce when it's crossed, it'll produce seeds, but they're just not viable seeds. That's one of the common things that happens with triploidy in like other cultivars. So I'm not really surprised to hear that could happen, but they'll be sterile one way or the other. You're not going to get plants out of it, but you may still get seeds or proto seeds.
Well, I think he has both going on. He had a femmes that were supposed to be feminized. It ended up being a male. No pistoles anywhere. So he took a clone of it to keep it alive until he could get to his sex tests. He wants to send it in and see if it tests as a female or as a male. So we're really excited for that, waiting for that to come back. But he's out on the farm right now, and he doesn't have the stuff there, I guess. So that's going to be really cool to find out how it comes back in the test.
Well, if it comes back as a male, then the breeder effed up.
Yeah. And if it comes back as a female, then it's some kind of mutant.
That's easy
Sure,
to do,
yeah.
though. This place has dropped the seeds in the wrong tray.
Yeah.
Well, we go back to the pollen. Probably could be the seeds, but like maybe there was some male that some grain of pollen came in and pollinated that pistil, and made that seed. That seems unlikely.
Seems like a lot of people are having leaf septoria in their outdoor grows this year too.
Interesting.
Maybe they've always had it. You just didn't hear about it as much. But now everyone's on the internet showing their grows and everything.
Yeah.
It's always there, just not reported.
Indeed. And maybe some years it's worse than other years. I thought maybe it was cyclical or something.
I definitely think there's some diseases that do that. I haven't heard that about leaf septoria this year, or like ever.
Solar maximum, especially because we're in the solar maximum. Solar cycle 25.
So how's your growth, Smart? How's yours going?
Oh, it's not doing too bad. I got some stretchers and some stub ones, but they're starting to put on some buds.
Cool.
And it's going as good as I can ask for the amount of time that we give it and the amount of everything that's been going on. It's been when they're little, we've had nothing but one problem after another, man. The last couple grows, it's really got me mind fucked, if you'll excuse my expression. I know my wife's right here. I feel bad.
No,
but it's just it's
exactly how we feel. It's
we tried a lot. We're gonna try some other different things, but we're
gonna keep going. That's the important thing. We're gonna not let this.
Yeah, we keep going through it.
Just setbacks, man. Minor setbacks.
This is why it's not a informational show. It's come grow with us, because we always end up every grower I know gets humbled, and it's as our confidence rattled. But there's things we're trying to do that we know are kind of wrong, but it doesn't seem like that should be the issue. And you know how that goes. You start chasing your tail. I almost have to maybe rethink a few things and maybe take on a little more things like a chiller or something that I was kind of pushing back against. And, we'll get it worked out, but we understand why we're where we're at, I guess, to a point. And
that's good.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things, but we're going to have some buds to smoke. They're getting frosty, stinky, and they got a little ways to go. So I think they're going to stack up. One of them stressed crazy tall, man. The rest of them staying kind of what we had hoped.
And I have my own update. I want to update everybody that Smart smoked a blunt of Sticky Dicky, and we got high as hell.
Yeah, we did.
So
yeah,
he's not as nervous about, oh no, we're going to run out, because we have a lot of that. And
because you have a lot of Sticky Dicky.
we have a lot of Sticky Dicky. So.
When you're down to just Sticky Dicky, you're out of weed. My book.
You're smoking the Sticky Dicky these days, huh?
I've been dipping in it, man. Times are tough, man. We took we took a long time.
Oh, dude, you know what I've been dipping in lately, and XYZ can attest to this. I've been smoking on my Night Queen. I don't know if you remember my Night Queen. This was an auto that we grew in the first SAFC in 2019.
Oh, wow.
And it grew up to the roof of my plant. I harvested over a pound off of this plant. I put like a quarter pound in a big Ziploc bag in my freezer, and I found it. And I was like, oh, check this out. Let's roll some blunts. So we've been rolling blunts with the Night Queen from 2019. So yeah, I know what it's like to have to like dip back into like the
How is it?
I mean, it's not bad. The blunts are pretty good. I didn't particularly think it was pleasant in a pipe. Like, it was a little harsh. But no, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it got me really high. I'm enjoying the blunts. I'm going to smoke like the rest of it as blunts. I don't think being in the freezer was, well, for like 5 years. I mean, how's anything going to be after coming out of the freezer for 5 years?
Yeah,
but
I would think it would be quite dry. And
it was better than it. It is kind of dry, but it's not like crumbly.
Okay.
It's still got some like it holds together. So why doesn't like as dry as I would have expected? You're right for being in the freezer and being sort of dehydrated like that.
One of the big
I
things
think it
is
survived better than if it had been out of the freezer.
one of the big things is letting it sit on the counter and not touch it until everything comes back to room temperature. Because then you start spreading the water around. It'll get like a little bit of moisture on the bag from the change, and
So that's the other thing. There's none of that. Like it's gone in and out of the freezer a few times. No condensation, no fogging up the bag. No,
oh, you're cold.
Bud doesn't feel cold after you take it out of the freezer. It like just doesn't.
Nice.
Like a little bit for like 10 seconds. So there can't be much moisture in it.
No.
And I think that's kind of the
saving
might
grace.
be part of the trick to this. But the other trick is that it held together despite not having much moisture content, and still it kind of breaks apart and holds together. Grinds up pretty nicely, to be honest with you. But I don't know. The reason like a quarter pound made it into the freezer for 5 years is it wasn't exactly my favorite to begin with.
We know how that goes. That's why I got 6 jars of Sticky Dicky sitting here, because we gave some of the other strains that we didn't appreciate. We kept giving them away, and so yeah. I mean, I'm glad that we have it. I honestly feel blessed that my wife kept it around. We had the extra jars, and now we have something. And we still have other stuff too, but we've been trying to slow down on smoking it. We figured this is a good way to substitute.
You have to have something that you can feel like I can just smoke as much of this as I want.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we have.
You're like, you know what? I already smoked like all I was supposed to smoke today, but I want to smoke some more. You have to have something that you're not going to feel like guilty about as you're running out. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what Sticky Dicky's purpose is now.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
the one
glad-
you can just smoke as much as you want.
I like having we went from having like 40 jars down to having like 3 over the course. We haven't been this low since like 7 years ago. So it's a little unnerving, and
I've been as low as I am now, but I'm going to get down there. I mean, you saw the size of my plants, man.
Yep.
I got a ways to go.
Look at our guy. He knows how it is.
Now,
it's hard making that adjustment when you've been privileged and then you're not privileged. That's when you really notice it. You're like, yeah. Maybe I should try and regulate before I run out.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one.
Now, Doc, if I remember correctly, you have like buds that you save just from grows. Do I remember correctly? You have like a bud bank. If you ever got low enough, would you dip in, or have you dipped in?
Well, I do. Yeah. And that,
Okay.
I mean, and the bud bank kind of got wiped out a little bit last year when this happened because of that. And then I had a couple of harvests to kind of replenish that, but those harvests are pretty much gone. So yeah, no, for sure. I very rarely finish a strain.
Yeah.
So even when I do dip into it, like I'll maybe have like, an eighth left or something, and I'll smoke a few bowls and leave the rest, or I'll have a bud left and I'll smoke half of it. And then the next time I'll smoke half of it again, and I'll just always like smoke half of it. I never smoke the whole thing. So the bud bank dwindles a little bit, gets sometimes resupplied, but yeah, nobody has to try for me. I'm not going to actually run out. I've got like quarter pounds of stuff that I find in my freezer, so it's like
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll survive. But the top shelf is looking pretty bleak.
Well, that's why he's got 4x4. I bet you.
That's why I'm like, let's just do it. Let's go big. I want a big harvest.
When's XY setting his tent up, man?
Well, I kind of got stuck out here. My whole plan was to leave this evening, go back home, but work called me up, and it's supposed to be my vacation. Yeah, I would have been on the show if I'd been.
You didn't want to miss the show. I understand.
He did. I wouldn't let him leave until he finished all his work. I'm like, no, XIC, you have to stay here until my system works properly.
For the whole thing. Yeah, that's good.
Well, we've already made 2 doses, Doc. I mean, come on.
2 batches. Yeah. We've also had 2 floods?
Yeah, 2 failures. Yep.
Two
That's
floods.
scary.
The floods are fun. I react like,
The
panicked child when the flood happens, like screaming with my head caught on fire.
Kill it. I'm like, what?
It's like shooting water against the wall,
Get the shop back.
Yeah, get the towels.
Yep, towels. We haven't had a shop vac incident yet, thank God.
You need a wet shop,
We have
man.
rubber towels.
Don't grab the wrong one. I've done that. Grab the wrong vac and use it for water, and it's shit.
Yeah, well, Doctor's got a bucket head, so we're pretty safe on that one.
Nice. Man, Sky overhead got a lot of work ahead of him. Those are some nice plants he cutting down.
He got a lot of work done
Yeah.
too, man. He's really going after it. And some of those buds are huge honkers as big as my arm.
Look at
It
that.
looks like
For sure.
impressive.
Yeah. So who's gonna go over there and help us with trim party, man? That thing's gonna take forever.
Yes. Jace
We're
got some
right on the
there, too.
feedback edge here. I don't know if it's bothering anybody, but if it is, let me know.
You sound clear.
Yeah.
Good. It's just that when we speak, we can hear each other in our, we're in the same room and we both got our mics and our speakers on. So we're on the edge of sort of giving feedback to each other. I just want to make sure that's not feeding into anybody else.
Hold on, let's get this.
No.
Hold on one second, Jay. Give me 1 second here. I think he's about to do another lopper. Cindy Lauper's coming out.
Yeah, he breaks that thing out. That is wild.
Girls just want to
He's
have
got
fun.
the lopper. Oh, he's going branch by branch. Oh no, he's just cutting down the
ties.
Yeah, the ties.
They would be on the ground without that, you know it.
Yeah, they're so heavy. They look like they want to fall down now. Chonkers.
Someone was telling me to put horsetail, I think, and something else into our compost for silica. Help strengthen up your plants. There was another thing you can compost too. And I think we could just get, what's that?
Bamboo's a good one for silica.
Bamboo. Was it sunflowers or something? I can't remember what it was. But it's good to know that. I don't think that would help totally.
You have to.
Those are heavy.
First, I would imagine.
Those plants holding dew and a little bit of wind one morning, and they're going to fold up like a cheap suit if they're not tied, All right, well, maybe he'll be ready in a minute. I wanted to see Jace while he got his plants up. I know earlier he was putting your big harvest away, and I seen you got all your plants came up. There it goes. It's going to go over.
Yeah, so they finally, finally all sprouted up. I've got one. I need to transplant it because it's getting up in the lights in this humidity dome here. So I really need to do that today, but I don't feel like it, to be honest.
Diatomaceous earth is silicon oxide as well, so I don't know. I'm not sure how that breaks down and how it becomes available. I'm sure it must do somehow. That's my real thing.
That one, I had to put a little twist tie. I don't know if you can see it, because it was laying down. So was that one behind it. So I had to prop them up with a twist tie.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, the other ones are good. They're rocking and rolling. Ready to throw them in some 1 gallons and get them in the tent and get them rocking and rolling.
You got auto fertigation for your 1 gallons?
Yeah.
There we go.
That's right.
They're waiting for that.
There we go. Looking pretty similar over there.
Huh.
Yeah, I think we know the same guy.
Oh yeah.
He went from a 5x5 to a 2x4, so he's to 2 2x4. So he's going the opposite way of kind of you. I guess he's keeping the same space pretty much, but.
Hey, okay, Jace, you doing any Calmag foliars on those plants?
No, not yet.
I think the two on the right that's what they're kind of looking for. The smaller one.
The two smaller ones?
Yeah.
Well, I might have to hit them up then because those were the newest. I actually had to reseed those. Those didn't make it the first time. That's why the other three are a lot bigger than the other ones.
Especially what is the blueberry muffin in the back?
Yeah.
See the sort of the calcium ripple in the first leaves. Yeah, you see that deformity in that first set of leaves?
Yeah, I was twisting a little bit.
Yeah, that's calcium deficiency. And hitting them with a little bit of CalMag solution, man, that plant is just gonna like literally say thank you. You'll be able to hear it.
What dosage you go in there? Like 5 milliliters per gallon?
Just mix a little bit of water to about 1,000 EC and add a drop of surfactant, yucca or SM90 or even a tiny bit of dish soap or whatever. But just mix it to the EC since it's just gonna be you use Calamagic?
Yes.
Yeah, so just add Calamagic to water until you get about 1,000 EC. You don't need a gallon. You don't even need a quart. You need a few ounces.
It's like 2.5 milliliters or 3 milliliters in a 32-ounce spray bottle will get you about 700, 800, 900, somewhere in there. And then you want to pH it to a 6.2. I believe that
it usually is above 6.2. Yeah, it just should be above 6.2. And unless your tap water comes out or the water that you're using, it starts low, you shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, I think my tap water is about 7.5 pH.
Then you should be fine. But yeah, you can verify the EC or the pH is above 6.2. Give them a little spritz. I always spritz the little plants up from the bottom and then down from the top, like a big one when they're like all 6 of them like that. But I just went through it. My plants are, almost exactly the same age probably. And yeah, they often get that little ripple and they love getting sprayed with CalMag.
Yeah, the bigger ones I've got are about 2 weeks, and then the smaller ones are about a week because I had to replant those because the first round didn't make it.
Yeah. Looking
How's
good.
the scrog going over there, Isanai? You got your scrog going. Is that in the dark?
Yeah, I would shut. Yeah, they go off 9 o'clock in the evening. That's 1:30 in the morning now.
Oh, damn. That's right. I didn't realize it was that far ahead. Yeah, I can't wait to see the update, man, on Sunday if you get a chance.
Yeah, it's looking good. I'll put me up. I said I was going to put the HPS up, didn't I, or the metal halide because I wanted the heat. But I ended up throwing off. I just really have a bar light back up, and I just filled the room again.
You got them 2 bar lights up there. It gives you one hell of a footprint in that room, man. I like that. You got some space to fill over there.
Yeah, so I think I'll pretty much filled it today. So
you pulled all those ones out of the tent and put them over there?
Yeah, I'll pull 4 out of the tent. I had 7 in there, I think, in that tent, but now pull 4 out. There's 3 in there. But nice. Yeah, they're now spreading out under that bar light quite nicely. Plus, I've got them 2 trays full of them CBDs. So there's probably about 150 of them that they're going to sit under there as well.
They're talking about
see what happens. 12 and 12 from seed. Well,
there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them. I remember you planting them. They're just like a couple massive flats full of just. they all germed.
They look really leggy at the moment because I just had them sat down the side of the back of the room. They were just getting shaded like from the canopy of the other plants. But now they've gone under the light. I would imagine they'll start to stand up and
right on.
In a minute, they're just all flopped over and then they're curling back up again. To get a little bit of rigidity. Maybe I'll spray them with some silicone, see if that help them out a bit. Stiffen them up. But yeah, they just all flopped over at the moment, but
We got some
all
great
interweaving with each other as well.
You know, that's one of those deals always befalls us. If we want like 6 plants, if we start 7 seeds, we'll get 4 of them. You know, you start 12, you get them all, man. And it's like, son of a bitch, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So it's always find it best. I like to have all the plants at the same age if I can. And you know, it just kind of helps the cause, especially when you're growing different strains. So I like to start extra ones.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to drop off. I'm getting summons from work, so
Right on, XY.
It's nice seeing you guys. Yeah, I'll eventually, like I said, I probably won't get my grow up till the end of the year. I've got jars and jars I got to get through first. So
that's the good part. At least you're stocked.
Yeah,
you got the opposite problem. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, XY.
Cheers,
He brought us a picture of Doc's tent. If anybody wasn't here earlier, you can scroll back, check it out.
Oh yeah, I bagged up there, probably on there, maybe on Sunday's show. I might be collecting pollen from the grape yearly. I'll put a bag on it. And it looks like it's about ready to open and drop the pollen. So I might even do some dusting.
Cool, man. I look forward to that.
Yes.
Pollen collection and dusting. Hey, Seed Person got his camera on, but he's got his mic off.
Looking good, Seed Person.
Thank you. I have a question. You guys see this right here?
Double bud.
Yes.
Double bud.
I do.
Out of one stalk here. And then that's a flapjacks. This is a different flapjacks over here. This is the one I did surgery on.
It's got a double.
Oh, it's got a double.
So if this is a genetic thing, if I theoretically reversed this one or this one and crossed the two of them, would I get more of that?
No.
It'd be equivalent to selfing it. Yeah. It depends on how it exists genetically. Like if it's a double recessive allele, or if it's just
they're two different seeds.
Rare.
Yeah, something's triggered it to make it express that way. Yeah, all plants probably have it in them. It's, you know, it could be something, just some weird hormone effect, like from kelp. I find that, you know, when you get your little center leaf buds and things like that, it's normally a hormone related issue, and everyone's got the ability to mutate and do, you know, if something happens and it gets triggered, and plants are no different.
So these are both from seed, though. They're not
I
clones.
agree that it's probably genetic. If you're growing 2 plants from the seed that are the same strain and they're both exhibiting the same characteristics like that, it's probably genetic. How you would breed for it to be stable would require multiple generations, basically. So you'd keep crossing it, selecting those individuals that express that trait, crossing them together until you were getting generations where all of the individuals had that trait.
Okay.
And maybe that would be 1 or 2. Maybe it would be longer than that, though. It depends on sort of how the trait exists genetically.
It could just be that plant or reacting to your environment. It might not react in a different environment the same way. You know, it still swings and roundabouts in that sort of thing.
Look at the color on that one.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Wow.
This is a nightmare cookies.
Does it get cold in your tent?
Not really. Like 68.
Good colors coming out. Good anthocyanin.
I'm always curious what people have their tents at when I see a plant this pretty. What's going on down here?
That's beautiful.
The heavy cola that fell down.
Just
right?
falling over. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a pollinated one. Seed Person's got his fingers in a lot of stuff. I thought maybe it was a pollinated one or something. I have a hard time keeping up.
No, but this is the same strain that is the male for the goth girl. So this might be in, and that one had purple male flowers. They were not all purple, but there was some purpling in there. And then there's
nice colors.
The progeny. Here's the goth girl, the 3 that I popped. And this is the second day for 12-12 for these 2 or 3 here in the little solo cups. We'll see what happens. And I got over here. There's my little autoflower. Backups for those 3 flapjacks, and then another set of backups, and then FPOG, the Blueberry Train Mac, and I just dropped 5 9-pound hammers and 1 Painkiller XL. So I'm going to be doing some heavy, sleepy stuff, hopefully coming up here in not too long.
Both of those Brandon Russ seeds came up.
Yep.
Nice. They're doing good.
I'm excited about it. So I chopped a bunch of stuff that I kind of pivoted, because you know how I am about these little projects and shit.
I did. The
that's
upside
what I
down
got going
cone will
on.
forever live in infamy, man.
To see this one.
Got some seeds.
Oh yeah.
It's getting there.
Nice.
And maybe you'll get some maple from Rocinante to cross with your flapjacks.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I got 2 pollen bag, like branch bags for from Daga coming in the mail, and some reversal spray. So I'm definitely going to be doing something. I just haven't figured out what out of all these different genetics that I got running around. But yeah, we'll see what
No
happens.
disrespect to Dagger, but you should check out PBS International for the pollen bags. I think that Dagger are just using their bags and marking them up.
Yeah, that. I did look at it. I didn't. It wanted me to like email them to get a quote, and I was like, I
They're
don't
really
want to
good
deal with all
people. I got my, you chat to them. They might even send you some free samples.
that. Okay, I'll definitely reach out to them next.
They are good people.
That's cool to know, man. Appreciate the update, to you, person.
Yeah.
Kick-ass garden, man.
Thank you. Little eye candy.
Yeah, that one's got some great color on it. We've only had a couple of those do that for us. It's always fun. Never seemed like better bud or anything. Like I presented it when I was looking. I'm thinking this is going to be the best one out of 10, but it actually wasn't. I don't think either one of the times. But it's a lot of fun to grow those and see them fade out. And then it made me wonder. I always question. We see the fall leaves turn around here, and I was always under the impression. I think, like I was told by the old timers, that's the ones that are red have more sugar in those trees. And I don't know if that's true or not. And I find out it's more an anthocyanin or an amino acid thing. And so I started questioning what I'd learned. And I still to this day don't have a full understanding of how that all works. It's cool shit. When you see that, it immediately makes you appreciate that plant a little more. You?
Oh, yeah. I definitely, if it's, I know, I realize, we're not tasting the color, of course, but it does something for the eyes. If it just adds a little touch of beauty.
Yeah. It's microbiome food. That's what it is. All these colors and everything are fuel. These polyphenols and all these colors are really good for all sorts of things. Yeah.
I love watching the leaves.
Plant protective compound, essentially. They're protecting the plant from sort of like UV radiation, just like sunscreen.
Yep. We see that on our stems, man. Everywhere there was a bud, it stays green. And in between, it'll get like a purple or, kind of a shade to it. And but I love when the leaves fall around here. You could smell them like almost decomposing or whatever. It sounds kind of weird. But if you lived around here, you'd understand it. It's a wonderful smell. When we was kids, we used to pile up the leaves real big and jump in them, And now we got outside, you smell that, it takes you right back. I love this time of year when fall comes, especially here in Appalachia.
The other thing I would say about the plants changing color and being all pretty and stuff is that unless it's extremely good medicine, I grow as an experience and I smoke as a separate experience, you know, and I will keep the plants that grow and make me happy when they're growing, you know, and then also make me happy when I smoke them. But if it was an ugly plant or a boring plant, you know, I'd maybe grow it once and then not keep it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see you have backups in there, man. You had a couple sets of backups, and I'm thinking that's smart. That's very smart.
I'm in the mind though as well is because of the antioxidant capabilities of the anthocyanins and the colours, the flavonoids and everything else, you don't get so stoned because they're detoxing you as you're smoking it. So it takes away from the high that we're feeling because we're getting intoxicated. But because we're pairing it up now with the pretty colours and everything else, the anthocyanins, that's why everyone's sort of, you know, I don't really get so high. The green is better than the purple.
Yeah. Hey, Jack Greenstar told me
but medicine, maybe not. Maybe not getting hot so high is the be all and end all because there's other compounds that we're not even comprehending.
Jack Greenstalk told me it was a good thing that my purple tie didn't turn purple. He said most people report that it's better when it doesn't turn purple. And I found that to be like contradictory. I'm thinking it's called purple tie, but maybe that has something to do with it, you know? And I guess I never really cared much for like the purple plants or like growing a purple strain or a blue, that color. That's more for bag appeal and stuff. I don't think it gets you any higher, you know?
No.
But I do like seeing them senesce real pretty like that.
Yeah,
that chicken's getting after it.
Yeah, it is.
The last few ones that have grown, they've all been purple, they've all been pink, they've all been red and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick. I just want bright, vibrant green. I want it all green again.
Yeah, you've had a lot of them strawberry strains coming through, turning out pink and red. Yeah, we've been watching those, and they get massive. But yeah, you're right. It'd be nice to just change it up, right?
Yeah, I'll just you know, it's a like I say, I feel it's a short-lived high. You don't get that total euphoria what you can from a nice bit of, you know, green.
I agree. Yeah, that fluorescent green. You know, it all is going to turn brown after a little while, man, when it's in the jars, right? If you keep it more than a year, it's going to look funky. That's what it usually seems like. That's the shelf life, right? A year?
I don't know.
Yeah, it depends if you put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
I like the freshness of like 6 weeks to that first 6 months. Like that fresh period right there is like my favorite, man. 6, 8 weeks.
I agree. I think the second, third, fourth month.
It's all
It's a little bit rough, but second, third, fourth month.
Yeah.
Some people crave the CBN. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just want to go to sleep. So
Yeah.
the older the better.
It's nice to be able to make our own medicine.
I have stuff that's a year and a half old and it's just perfect.
What's that? Your buds? Yeah, I mean, if they're stored correctly, they're not bad. But I've often said back when we used to buy weed, I've had brown weed that was like really good, and I like to think maybe it wasn't sprayed with nothing, but I think it was just old, man, or maybe not stored properly, but it still got us high. And it wasn't that real shitty tasting brown weed that got you high. It was like you're looking at it thinking the look doesn't really equal the taste, the high, and all that shit. I've had that happen to me a few times, and it would be going for like 20 and eighth instead of 25 because of that brown color. And you're thinking, yeah, let me go get some more of this. But I think that's what it is. I've had some brown weed that really wasn't that bad. It's if you're a seller though, I guess you're kind of beat.
Yeah, it's it doesn't all turn brown. Like sometimes you get it right to where it gets to be about 3 or 4 years old, and then it starts to get brown.
Oh wow!
And it starts tasting funky.
That's when you got these big harvests like this. That's when you end up with 4-year-old buds. They don't last that long around here, Sky.
It usually ends up being like some of the best hash I made was with some cured bud that was 1.5 years old. And what was it? It was purple punch. I think that's what it was. Yeah, so when it's good, it's good.
Yeah, I agree. Even if it turns gold or brown, some of them might not, but yeah, I agree. And like I said, when you got the harvest like you have, I'm not surprised that you have it for quite some time. You won't smoke all this between now and next year, and I can see how it could stack up.
No, I'm not impressed with the fat buds because, like I said before, the sunlight never gets inside and lets it ripen up. So, like when you pull the buds out to like trim them to get all the leaves out of them, they're just like all white inside. It almost looks like there's mold or something. But some spots there is kind of some, but it's usually just because the sun never gets to it. So it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, those big white spots in close. But well, this is my experience. I didn't grow outdoor, but some of the bigger buds we've got indoors, I've noticed that. And it seemed like after we cut them down into manageable sizes and got them dried and cured, they all kind of turned, eventually. But fresh like that, it's a little bit concerning. You're like, holy shit, this is really white. And I'm like you, I'm looking through it. Is there something wrong? And it was some of them big autoflower buds we used to get, the size of a freaking 2-liter, and that's no shit. We got those documented over at Dr. MJ's website, Cocoa for Cannabis. And it's scary when you get them that big. That's why I get scared when I see you guys with those big monster buds. I'm thinking they have no environmental control. I'd be up sleepless nights.
Yeah, I don't like the thicker buds, that's for sure. Like, this is about as thick as I would like buds to get.
Yeah.
Like, they're about 1.5 inches thick or something. Where is it? Oh.
This ain't working. Hold on 1 second here. What are we doing wrong? There it goes. There. Those are nice, yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Those are perfect for, you don't have to chop them down a lot or anything. They're ready to go. Clean them up, right into the jar.
Yeah, anything bigger than, a couple inches across, it's ridiculous to me. Just in my own experience. Like, so I'm not knocking anybody else's thing, but my own experience.
It makes me think that this is a good reason not to like train your plants outdoor. Too much topping and shit, kind of get all that girth into a few nodes or a few branches isn't good when you're outdoors, because that's going to really lead you to some fat, huge buds. It's nice to leave them like a pine tree, like a Christmas tree, let them grow and then it kind of spreads it out. But I'm sure you can go too far that way too. It's part of like learning those parameters outdoor, and that'll be fun to do because nobody wants larf, but you also don't want them to be, full of rot.
Yeah. So yeah, the big buds to me is just like the outside of them looks really good, but all the inside's just like larfy, and it's basically like a celery that you buy in the store. It's all freaking yellow.
I think if I started indoors first, then took them outdoors, they would get too big. I think I would want to start them right direct style into the ground and let them go. They would be the perfect size in our season here. That's something I was pondering on how to start them out, and I think that would be my best option. But these are all things we really look forward to trying out. It looks like you got yours down.
Yeah, when I get the right plants to grow. It sucks when you get too big of buds and rot. But I should have way more rot than I do. Let's just put it that way.
Compared to everybody else in the windstorms, man, everybody in Michigan, all their shit got blowed down last week.
Oh, yeah.
He lost 2 of his plastics, or 2 out of 3 plastics on his hoop houses, and they're big. They're like the big 100.
Yeah, they're big.
And that's a lot of damage, and it laid a bunch of plants down. And there was another guy on here. Who was it on their back deck?
It was
shit. We see some, but they were all losing them. The Michiganders.
No, that's too bad.
Cows fall down.
Man. But it's always fun to see garden. If gardening was easy, everybody would do it. There's a lot of labor and a lot of risk, when to do it. And that's why numbers are in your favor, I guess, when you're outdoors. You have to plant way more than you need to prepare for this sort of thing.
Yeah, I've learned just to know what, like, it helps to have good magnifying glasses and like microscopes and stuff, because then you can like really look on the plant and see what's on the plant. Because you really just want caterpillars off of there and things that are going to be eating the leaf that right around where that produces the triclone, because it just like little microscopic bugs, you just have to know when to spray and what you're spraying for.
I've heard some of them, like the russet mites, never had anything like that, but I heard you really can't see those with your eye. You start to see the damage on your plant. It really cues you in to start getting the microscope out. So some of those are, but when you're outdoors, you're limited on really what you can do, you know. So, but we appreciate you always coming on, Sky, showing us your harvest, and you do really good at it. And we've seen you lose a little bit, but all in all, it seems like you've been pretty lucky this year.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna grow anything. I didn't really want to.
Now look at you.
I just wanted some seeds, and I wanted to see what this yard would do.
Right on.
So like next year, I'm hoping to have like some sort of greenhouse contraption again, even if it's just PVC pipes driven into the ground and with my blackout plastic again. It's just easier to harvest during like the beginning of August.
Yeah, I got you.
You get better stuff because I thank you guys for letting me share my stuff. I really appreciate it. You guys rock. And thank you everybody else that's sharing too. I really dig your guys' gardens.
Indeed, we appreciate you coming on, showing your beautiful garden, and it's a first for me seeing it live with the chainsaw. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that was really awesome.
Yeah, I just usually use the clippers, but it just was not working.
I agree.
It was too much work with the clippers.
I would want to, if I had to, if I could, I would want to use light depth and harvest earlier in the season and maybe beat out some of the pitfalls that people would have harvesting later. Now, some of the old heads might ride you and say that that's kind of crazy, but I'm hedging my bets towards getting as much in as I can. And that's probably how I would want to go. But that would require some due diligence of timing. You got to be somewhere at this time every day, regardless. You know, somebody has to be there.
Dedication.
So that's some dedication.
Yeah.
And I look forward to, hopefully you'll share it with us when you jump into that.
So the way I was doing it to keep the rot off the most was I'd just get up right before the sun come up and just cover everything in the dark, and then keep it covered until about like 10 in the morning. And then like you can increase your darkness too. So if you're getting 6 to 8 hours of light, then you can totally increase your darkness to get like to develop your buds like a little bit more bigger and fluffier. Or you can do it to where you can make them tighter and stuff too. So like you can play with the darkness cycle.
Yeah, man. I look forward
outside.
to because it's cool when you do that and you see the results come out over and over, and it's like you really got something on your hands here, and that's going to be a fun time. We'll definitely be leaning on you for some advice.
Well, I'll try my best to explain it.
All right. Well, thanks, buddy. We'll let you go. Appreciate you showing us the harvest.
All right. Thanks. Thank you very much. My Instagram's basetown11. If you guys want to follow me over there, there's probably going to be a little bit clearer pictures to look at.
My wife will put that in the chat for us.
Thank you very much.
All right, Sky. Appreciate it.
All All right. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're down to
Cheers.
we're down to the last 10 minutes. If anybody has something on their mind they want to bring up, good to know the timings. That way we don't get into something too deep. And I don't feel bad cutting someone off in 5 minutes. So if you have anything, I want to say thanks to the chat. They always bring good, interesting stuff and interject into the conversation and the tours. And want to definitely thank all of our guests. Nice treat to have Doc MJ. I know you've been busy, and XYZ was able to stop in. I know he's been busy, and it's been a fun,
He's busy
fun
right
night.
now, yeah.
Rocinante come by to give us the update. He's been super busy, and he agrees to keep on coming by as much as he can. And that's exciting stuff. I think people really enjoyed checking that out, seeing the gardens. And so, yeah, it's been a fun night. I needed this, man. It's a tough day for us. And we got hit with a lot of angles, there's some good, some bad. You know how it is, how days go. And so it was like one of those days where I just wanted to sit down, smoke a blunt of Sticky Dicky. Yeah, I said it. And just relax with our friends. And you guys made it wonderful for sure.
I have a question. I don't know if I maybe was doing something and missed it. I was curious what strains Doc's growing.
What strains I'm growing? Oh gosh, I don't even remember at this point. I got 10 plants in there. What strains am I growing? I'm growing trop cherries that Andrew sent me. I'm growing a dark ghost train haze that hermed on all of us like 6 years ago.
Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got the last seed from the original sort of pack of seeds from that. I got a red diesel,
I think, and you got like
some berries, what is it like? There's two. A bunch of berries. 3 different. When I dropped them, I thought I had 2 packs of regular seeds, and so I dropped 3 each. But I think they're all femmes. Berry Blast and Malibu Blast.
Oh, so those aren't regs.
I think they're femmes. That's why I think I'm going to end up with all 10 plants.
It happens.
There's like a couple other strains that I'm forgetting right now, but I got an eclectic grow. I got those 2 sets of 3 and then 4 individuals.
Now I know why you want to flip so early, so that you have room for all of them, because you're planning on keeping all of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do have them in a 4x4 at least. I'm not going to grow them out very big. I'm going to flip them early, grow basically a sog. Yeah, but I'm going to aim for, a 2-pound harvest.
That would be impressive. That's a short veg.
Yeah, I was going
Short veg, lots of plants.
I'd love to see that on a 2-week veg. Really would.
We'll have to keep us updated, Doc, and let's see how it
I'd
goes.
be happy to come back. Smart.
Sure.
Absolutely. I'll be less of a stranger. And I'm trying to get things. This is what I'll talk about for the 2 minutes or whatever we got left. I'm trying to get organized, and let's do another New Year's Grow Challenge starting on January 1st. We haven't done challenges much this year since the last New Year's Grow Challenge. So start announcing that and let people get their calendars lined up.
Yeah,
it sounds exciting. Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring back the New Year's Grow Challenge. I'll be ready for a new harvest at that time. Everybody can be ready. You got a couple months still almost 3 months still to get things straightened out for that. So it's always more fun when we grow together.
Yes, it is for sure.
XYZ wants to say something. XYZ is going to come in here.
Yeah, hey.
I know.
Here I am. See you guys. Anyways, thanks for having us on, and we'll see you around.
Awesome.
Great to see you guys hanging out and enjoying your time together and getting to grow up. And you both very good,
productive trip here. So I'm happy that Andrew paid me the house call.
Well, I can't get my grow up for a little bit longer. I'm still waiting for some parts, so I figured I'd help out Doctor since I was in the neighborhood anyways.
Indeed. All right, guys. Yeah, so grow love, everybody. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for having us on, Smart, Crispy.
Nice to see you guys.
Thanks, Smart and Crispy.
No problem. And it's we'll say Doc went, and we'll say up next would be Ice and I.
Yeah, I'll just say cheers, everyone. Puff, enjoyed the show, enjoyed the company as usual, and catch everyone on the next one. And we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it. Sky already went. Up next would be Seed Person.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks to the panel and chat and Smart and Crispy for hosting. And yeah, it's good to see everybody. I'm SeedPerson1 on Instagram or SeedPerson1@gmail.com. And I will see y'all on Sunday.
Up last, not least, is our buddy Jace.
Okay, Jace20 at Instagram. Always fun hanging out with you guys. Thanks again, Smart and Crispy, for hosting. Cheers, panel. Cheers, chat. And we'll see you guys next time. Grower love.
Right on. And then the iconic words of our good buddy Ice and I: don't let anybody dim your light. And we'll see everybody on the Sunday show. Grower love.
Grower love, everyone.
Grower love.
Woo!